Finding transformative opportunities has defined my career. In my previous role as Chief Investment Officer of Caxton Advantage, I managed $1.6 billion of investors' capital. My role was about anticipating seismic changes in the macroeconomic environment. For instance, during COVID, we analyzed all the data coming out of China in January 2020, positioned aggressively for a global pandemic, and then pivoted when our expert networks indicated a vaccine was forthcoming. This experience taught me the importance of seeing the forest from the trees, how understanding the bigger picture and connecting dots across an entire ecosystem can reveal opportunities others might miss. I applied the same approach when I was diagnosed with ALS. I went deep into researching the disease, reading all the current papers and reference materials. What I found was concerning. In our increasingly specialized world, scientists might only know a tiny fraction of what's happening across the whole field. Sometimes the degree of specialization becomes a weakness rather than a strength. By studying everything from Huntington's to Parkinson's to Alzheimer's research, I discovered that crucial breakthroughs in one area could inform solutions in another. The edges come from understanding that everything is related and correlated. There's always a bigger picture. This comprehensive analysis led me to this remarkable therapeutics company. After studying more than 300 companies in the ALS space, I found that their approach stood out for its groundbreaking work, targeting TDP43, a key protein that drives ALS progression. Their research, published in the prestigious journal Neuron, demonstrated something remarkable. Their treatment could not only halt disease progression, but partially reverse symptoms in advanced cases. This wasn't just another symptomatic treatment. This was a potential breakthrough targeting the root cause of the disease. Their lead program, CTX1000, is a genetic medicine that does something revolutionary. It's designed to identify and remove the toxic proteins that kill neurons in ALS. What makes it truly unique is that it's a single-dose therapy that could potentially both stop the disease and restore lost function. In a field where current treatments only manage symptoms, this approach could transform how we treat ALS. Reflecting on my first meeting with Professor Lars and Dr. Yazzie, I was simply blown away. Lars had forgotten more before his morning coffee than I would ever be able to understand. And they both approached their work with the humility that I have always found is the true stamp of greatness and the mark of people who can get things done. Regarding my investment analysis of the company, it's important to understand that I look for seismic changes, innovations that can fundamentally transform an industry or field. In my view, their approach targeting and breaking down the harmful proteins that build up in the brain of people with ALS represents exactly that kind of transformative potential. Their research published in Neuron showed remarkable results, including significant survival benefit and even more incredibly return of function in symptomatic mice. As for the current state of ALS research investment, the reality is that ALS is an underfunded disease that has lacked professional investors pushing things as hard and fast as they could. There haven't been many serious biotech investors in this space because there have been too many failed trials. But the history of failure is not indicative of future failure. And this research has both the scientific foundation and the clinical expertise needed to potentially succeed where other attempts have failed. A special thank you to the Scott Morgan Foundation for making groundbreaking assistive technologies possible, allowing me to share this message today through DID's hyper-realistic avatar and 11 Labs voice cloning, even as ALS affects my ability to speak. This is another prime example of truly transformative technology. As both an investor and someone living with ALS, I bring a unique perspective to evaluating this opportunity. During my career at Caxton, I learned that transformative change often happens when you find that rare intersection of breakthrough science, exceptional talent, and proper funding all coming together at the right moment. That's what I see with this company. Their approach could represent an inflection point in how we treat ALS, potentially transforming it from a terminal diagnosis to a manageable condition. This isn't just hope. This is based on rigorous analysis of their scientific approach and the data behind it. In my career, I've learned to recognize the difference between incremental progress and true breakthroughs. This represents the latter.